Hello, my friends. D.L. Anderson here. Welcome back to Transformation by Truth podcast as we share the truth concerning these last days and what you must do to save yourself from the violent times that are just ahead. Today's podcast is a word of truth accounting of the end times. The end is coming. The end is near. Today's podcast is entitled End Times 247, The People and Places of the Restoration, Part 7. The podcast objectives are reveal why Israel is a mixed congregation, analyze the link between the harvest and the fruit we produce, analyze the pieces of our past, present, and future, and reveal how things are often not what they appear to be. This lesson contains timelines and other visuals. Therefore, if you are listening to the podcast, I advise you to watch the video version on our website or YouTube, or request a PDF of the lesson so you can add the visual effect. They were better qualified. Now, in the most recent podcast, we analyzed all the places the nation of Israel traversed during the four dispersions, i.e., the Assyrian captivity, the Babylonian captivity, the captivity of continental Africa, and the captivity of the Americas. This was crucial because, according to Isaiah, these are the lands Yahuwah Elohim will recover us from in these last days. These are the lands the nation of Israel were scattered to over the course of almost 3,000 prophetic years. Notwithstanding, and as I said before, these analyses only reflect the physical offspring of Yaakov. Remember, Israel is a spiritual body of set apart people spanning every nation, people, and tongue, which is why I afore stated we, the people of Israel, are everywhere. However, we must appreciate how the physical offspring of Jacob are the focus of this spiritual congregation. We are the center. We are the core. We are the branches, and all the nations, peoples, and tongues who joined themselves to this body were grafted in. This reality speaks to a crucial quality of the nations and the peoples who have been grafted into the renewed nation of Israel. It is such an important matter that I will offer it as an interest point, and I ask you to consider it faithfully. The nations and peoples who have been grafted into the renewed nation of Israel possess the spiritual qualities of Yahushua Messiah, and they are better qualified to participate in the millennial reign than many of the physical descendants of Jacob. Now, if you believe this is a big deal, then we are definitely in agreement. My dear friends, Yahuwah Elohim has cast off many branches of the original nation of Israel, and he has replaced them with Gentiles and individuals from other nations. You can read about this account in great detail in Romans 11. In a most fascinating discourse, Shaul unveils the process in which the spiritual body of Israel came to consist of an original people and nations bringing forth good fruit. Remember, this is the ultimate goal. This is the end game. Yahushua Messiah will shepherd the world in righteousness for 1,000 years during the millennial reign, and to ensure the peace and goodwill of his kingdom. The majority of the people in the world today won't be there. That includes many of the physical descendants of Jacob, and they are without excuse. For Yahushua Messiah warned them. He told them the kingdom would be taken from them and given to the renewed nation of Israel. Matthew 21:43. Because of this, I say to you, the kingdom of Elohim shall be taken from you and given to a nation bringing forth the fruits thereof. The kind of fruit we are producing. Here again, this nation is the renewed nation of Israel. We are a people who are displaying the fruit of the kingdom. We are the chosen elect who have been qualified to participate in the reign of Yahushua Messiah. Here again, this kingdom will be depicted by 1,000 years of peace on earth and goodwill toward the remnant of man. Here lies the inflection and a key point of interest concerning the renewed nation of Israel. Consider this. The renewed nation of Israel will not be a disjointed body of contrary individuals who are consistently experiencing conflict. Remember, the millennial reign will be depicted by 1,000 years of peace, and thus those who are qualified to participate in this reign must be men and women of peace. Matthew 5:9 reveals, blessed are the peacemakers, because they shall be called the children of Elohim. Along these lines, a key factor of all those who are true peacemakers is meekness. It is lowliness, men and women who are poor in spirit. And what does our loving master have to say about those who possess these attributes? Matthew 5:3-9 reads, blessed are the poor in spirit, because theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the meek, because they shall inherit the earth. These testimonies of Yahushua Messiah are powerful, for they not only establish the criteria for the promises of Elohim, but they also reveal how things are going to end. To wit, the meek shall inherit the earth. The meek will participate in the millennial kingdom. The same goes for the peacemakers, for they are the children of Elohim. And would Elohim prevent his children from participating in the kingdom of his only brought forth son? I think not. Therefore, as we are preparing ourselves for the harvest, we should give the more earnest heed to the kind of fruit we are producing, and we should ensure these fruits are meet for the kingdom. The pieces that are missing. Now, the need for us to display the fruit of the Spirit in our lives is confirmed by the history of the original nation. To wit, the original nation was not only annihilated, it was destroyed, and the remnant was scattered to the four corners of the earth. The reason why is sure. They failed to demonstrate the fruit of the kingdom to which they were called. Therefore, their branches fell off, and the Gentiles and other nations were grafted in. My dear friends, this is our history, and the history matters. This is why I have invested 7 podcasts in this mini-series, providing you with a high-level account of our history as it pertains to the dispersion and how it ties into these last days. Specifically, I have been very transparent concerning the primary indicators that reveal who's who in these last days and where each party is heading. For as there is no new thing under the sun, we can expect that history should repeat itself, and the thing that was shall be again. Not only this, but we possess more than a scriptural and historical account of the four dispersions to forecast how these last days should end. My dear friends, we also possess the prophetic word. And the prophetic word tells us how the world is going to end. This is a crucial matter because our acquisition of the prophetic word gives us an amazing advantage in not only confirming our past, but also in understanding the present. Consider this key point of interest, and I am quite sure you will see. By ascertaining the prophetic word and knowing how the world will end, we can, by the same spirit of prophecy, come to know the events that must transpire to bring about this certain end. This shouldn't be too hard to understand. Just consider yourself reading a book, and after reading more than half of the story, you skip a few chapters and read the end. Here's a question. How hard would it be to understand at a high level what happened in those chapters you did not read? The answer, it wouldn't be too hard at all. It's like having 90% of a puzzle and being able to see the big picture, even though some of the pieces are missing. Here again, this is what I have sought to do in this mini series. It was to provide you with the big picture concerning the people and the places of the restoration, while understanding that the pieces that are missing are the revelation of these last days, which I have been sharing with you for much of this calendar year. Not what they seem to be. Now, in concluding this 7-part mini-series, I would reiterate the importance for each of you to be led by the Spirit in your deliberations concerning these matters. For better or worse, you will never be the same once you have encountered any form of truth. On the one hand, you can resist the knowledge and the truth the Spirit has revealed to you, if he has indeed revealed it to you. Remember, many are called, but not all are called. To wit, many will never hear the word you have heard. They will never see the truth you have seen. And yet, hearing and seeing are only parts of the first half of this equation. My dear friends, if you do not act upon the truth you have seen and heard, you become like one who is deaf and blind. On the other hand, you can accept the truth revealed to you in this mini-series. You can accept the fact that the world we live in is shrouded in deception, and it is filled with countless errors and manifold lies. And why should that be such a difficult thing to believe? Not only do the scriptures reveal this truth, but we know that Satan has much authority in this earth. For since the beginning, dominion within the earth has been up for grabs. And seeing as man has spent much of his existence walking contrary to the will of his creator, dominion in the earth has largely been taken by the enemy. This is why he is referred to as the prince of this world in the gospel, as well as the epistles. Ephesians 2:1-3 reads, "And you hath he quickened, who were dead in trespasses and sins, in which you once walked, according to the course of this world, according to the ruler of the authority of the air, of the spirit that is now working in the children of disobedience, among whom also we all once lived in the lust of our flesh, doing the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature children of wrath, as also the rest. Knowing this, we must lean upon the discerning spirit, for many things are not what they seem to be. And yet, we are children of the light. And what others cannot fathom, we can clearly see. Now, here is the final word. Yahuwah knows those who are his, and let everyone who names Messiah depart from iniquity. In this order, we must appreciate all that iniquity entails, specifically a system of beliefs which is not established upon the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Here again, there was a time when Elohim winked at ignorance, for we were under the dispensation of blindness. And yet, that time has come and gone. And in this day, he is calling for every man and woman everywhere to repent and to seek his face. And all who will excel will become his people, and he will guard us in these last days, wherever we are placed. Now, here is what's next. We completed today's podcast, End Times 247, The People and Places of the Restoration, Part 7. And the next podcast is entitled End Times 248, A Summary of the Restoration of the Nation of Israel. I will post this podcast on Monday, December 25th, 2023. Until then, my friends, continue to be led by the Spirit of Elohim. Continue to watch, continue to pray, continue in fasting, and most of all, continue to be focused, for the end is coming. The end is near.